Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for, this is for the rest of 2025. You have the woman and you also have the key. So in this, I'm using the Gilded Lenormand here. And in Lenormand, we read combinations. So, number one, this could represent you kind of like opening up your heart, basically. So if you are looking for love, or it doesn't even have to be love, like, you know, if you just want to do more things that you enjoy in life, or just want to have more fun in life, then you could be opening up to that as well. I also kind of feel like it is saying you have the key to your freedom. I was literally going to say that, and you have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is the card of freedom. And so most people read it as marriage, which of course it can represent marriage, but it's also a card of setting yourself free. You know, these people have completed something. I think something people forget about the Four of Wands is that it's a card of completion. The Four of Wands can come up when we are completing a project, or we're completing something that we're working on, or, you know, whatever. So you could be setting yourself free at this time, and it kind of just says that you have the keys necessary to be able to do that, and you know, obviously that is a good thing. You start with the Queen of Wands, the Six of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. Again, this reading is for the rest of 2025, but really, this reading is for the real 2025, because I believe 2025 doesn't really start till May. So the time frame for this reading is May till the end of the year. You have the Queen of Wands, which is about, you know, being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. A lot of people have been getting the Queen of Wands. So it does seem to be a time where people should be being bold and assertive and really going for what they want, and that's exactly what I would do with the Queen of Wands. But like I said, I think this is true for everyone. I've been saying all year that it's like definitely a year where we can't just dip our toes in the water. You know, if we want something, we have to really go for it. We have to, you know, cannonball into the deep end of the pool, and we have to make it happen. And that's kind of like the attitude that I'm getting from the Queen of Wands. Also, if you do want love, this could say that you are very attractive at this time, Gemini. I kind of feel that in this reading because you have this, but you also have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands could say that you are getting a lot of attention. And I've said to you before that usually we don't get Jupiter's rewards until it leaves our sign, right? So you've had Jupiter in your first house, and it will be leaving in June. But as we get closer to June, you might notice that you become very popular all of a sudden, or you might notice that people are wanting more of your attention and more of your time. We end with the Devil in this reading, so you're going to have to really make sure that the people that you are allowing into your life for love and otherwise, that they really have good intentions, and you need to make sure that they're coming in for the right reasons, right? I wouldn't be paranoid about this. I always say I don't think the devil's that big of a deal. We just have to pay attention. If someone seems toxic, they probably are, and we should probably avoid them. If a person says things but they don't do them, they are probably a devil. We shouldn't be around them. If we feel drained around a person, we shouldn't be around them. They're probably a devil. So the Six of Wands says you have to really pay attention. Or Six of Wands with the Devil here. You have the Nine of Cups. Definitely could be some wish fulfillment. I mean, it looks like you have the Six of Swords in the World and the Three of Wands next to it, the Four of Wands. You know, really good cards right off the bat. So the Nine of Cups can be like a wish fulfillment, or, receiving a wish. With the World right next to this could be some sort of accomplishment or some sort of achievement, especially with the Six of Wands as well, which is also an accomplishment or an achievement, that you could be getting a wish in the sense that you have been wishing to accomplish something, and now you are, Gemini. So that is great. Let's see. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Nine of Swords. Definitely something to be avoided. We go down Ten of Swords to the Hangman. We have the Devil here. So the Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. But I always say that the Nine of Swords can very easily be avoided. We just have to not repeat a cycle, plain and simple. We also have to trust what we learned. He has this blanket on his lap here, and this blanket is a comfort blanket. In those blue squares in the blanket, there are all these astrological symbols in those squares, and the astrological symbols are like a reminder to this person that he has experienced a lot of astrology in his life. And so it's meant to give him comfort because he's like scared of something, but if he really looks at all his past experiences, he wouldn't be scared because he would realize that he's overcome much more difficult things, right? And that's kind of what I feel for you with the Queen of Wands, because again, she really has to go for something, and if you're you're trying to accomplish something, but you're like afraid of making a mistake or having an issue, the Nine of Swords actually should be giving you comfort, because the Nine of Swords says, no, you've done things that are much harder before. So in a lot of ways, I actually kind of feel that should be giving you confidence, right, to be successful moving forward. With the Six of Wands, you have the Moon. The moon is about, is part of your journey. The moon can represent fears, fantasies, illusions, not being clear on the direction that you're going in. But this is just life in general. It's like most people who do anything, they really have no clue how they're going to get to where they're going. They just do it, right? They just take action. They just make it happen. And that's kind of what I feel here on the moon card. It's saying, yeah, you might not know exactly where you're going, but, eventually you will figure it out. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is like slow progress or making slow progress towards your goals. He is making progress. So normally I don't say that as well. He's the only knight in the tarot that isn't making a move. He's the only one that isn't moving. And so normally I'm not like the biggest fan of the Knight of Pentacles, but I do feel you're making progress. I mean, you have the Six of Wands. You have the Three of Wands at the end, the World. These are all cards that really do represent making progress towards your goals or, towards whatever you're trying to do. So I do feel you are moving forward. Next in the area, the next row is gonna represent how things will be different. So when we get to like May, how will things be different compared to the first part of the year? You have this ship card. It says direction and journey on it. With the Three of Wands, you definitely could have a better direction of your life, or you are moving in a better direction. You actually got 3 cards here. You have this whale. It says Wisdom Keeper on it. You also have this groom. It says husband and marriage on it. Some of you, if you are with a person already, it could be a person that you will marry. You have the Four of Wands as your very first card. Some of you could also be attracting a person that you could marry in the future. And so we'll look into that. It doesn't have to be a husband. It could be whatever you're looking for. It doesn't matter. But it could definitely be a new person. You have the Four of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and you also have the World and the Six of Swords wanted to come out together. The Four of Wands, again, could be marriage. So if you are looking for love, there definitely could be love coming in for you. Air and fire really stand out to me here. So, it could be an air sign or a fire sign. Could be any sign, general reading. But if you are looking for love, it looks good. The Four of Wands is also a card of freedom, but usually we have to complete something to get to the other side to celebrate with these people, and that's what sets us free. Even there are a lot of tarot books that say the Four of Wands can come up when you're like completing a project or, bringing something to an end, and this would represent celebrating the result. So if you have been working on a project, an idea, a business, you could be finally celebrating the results of your efforts, which is great. This could be a very good thing for you here, Gemini. You have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords can say that something is dead, done, over with in your life. And the Ten of Swords, he's making the symbol with his hand here that represents a blessing. So I always say that the Ten of Swords can kind of represent a blessing in disguise, or it can say that there is a blessing in disguise coming in for you. I kind of do feel that on the Ten of Swords. I feel like you could be bringing an end to things that have slowed you down is really what I'm getting here. I also feel that we go down to the Hangman here. The Hangman is hanging from the Tree of Knowledge and Wisdom, and his head is finally glowing on the Hangman card. So he has finally gained enlightenment on like what his next step should be. Now he can start moving forward. And so I kind of feel with this Ten of Swords here that maybe you are realizing like what you need to cut out of your life and what you can keep doing and what you need to move forward on. So it's just saying that you're moving forward is what I feel. And to further that message, you have the Six of Swords and you have the World. So the Six of Swords obviously represents moving on to calmer shores. The World can be an accomplishment, an achievement, or it can be you completing something, just like the Four of Wands. So a lot of you could be heading towards like some sort of conclusion in your life, but the conclusion is actually like a new beginning. The World in the major arcana, we are always following the major arcana in life. We go from the Fool to the World, and then we start all over again as a Fool. The Six of Swords, this woman and the child in the boat, they're moving on to calmer shores where they are about to have a new beginning. So they're completing one thing for the hopes of a brighter future. And I definitely feel that we go from here, these two cards, over to the Three of Wands. the Three of Wands is a card of expansion, which you are being called to expand because of Jupiter. But the Three of Wands is also the hopes of a brighter future. He is standing where he has always been on this card, but he has these boats that are out on this water here, and those boats could be, they could bring him somewhere where he's never been. They could bring him somewhere where he can expand more or where he can grow more. So I really feel that this row is kind of saying that, you are moving towards a brighter future. With the Four of Wands, you have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is about making a decision. I do feel like you have a choice to make right now, whether to continue something or to kind of like close it out, right? And I feel like the Four of Wands is saying you will be happy if you close something out. So, Two of Swords, she's thinking this or that, but really she has another option over here. I'm not even sure what this is for you, Gemini. It feels like something small. Like maybe you've been, working on a project that really isn't going anywhere, or maybe you've been trying something in life that isn't really working for you. And I feel if you close whatever that thing is out, that you will get much better results in your life. So you could just be closing something out. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is something new. Page of Pentacles could be like new communication from a new person. The Page of Pentacles is also the card of studiousness. He is learning something new. He's one of the pages that wants to learn how to do new things in his life. So for a lot of you, Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords, the World, the Four of Wands, all of this is screaming new beginning coming in for you at this time. With the Six of Swords in the World, you have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, it's a choice. I would take the choice. I feel like it's not a choice. As in, I wouldn't stay in whatever this is. Like if you're thinking about getting a new job, go and get a new job. If you're thinking about changing something in your life, go and change it, is what I would say with the Two of Pentacles. I do feel that work hard, play hard is going to be really important for the rest of the year because, we are finally being set free from that retrograde energy. Finally, it's been 6 months straight, more of straight retrogrades. So I do feel like on one hand, it's kind of good because I feel people are going to feel more motivated, especially once we get to May, but you should start to feel more motivated like now, or soon. But at the same time, while I think it's good that people are going to be wanting to work and, wanting to make things happen, we also need to make sure that we balance the energy, of course, and that we don't, burn ourselves out, that we don't create bigger issues. So, again, I would make sure that you're balancing things out. Next, we're going to look at what you don't see coming at this time, and you have the Passion card and this Create card. I feel like you have the opportunity to create a life of passion. I think everybody does right now. I feel we should all be moving towards things that we're more passionate about, that kind of fill us up and fill up our fun bucket, which I always say on the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles really says you need to fill your fun bucket. You need to have more fun and enjoy yourself more and create more of that energy. Again, we can't only work. We can't only not have fun. We have to do things that make us happy, and I feel this is encouraging you to do that. It's an incredible time for creativity for air signs, so any creative ideas you have, I would absolutely work on those things and see where they go. You have the Strength card, the Death card, and the Hangman. Strength, of course, is a card of patience, but Strength is also a card of building your inner strength. Again, a lot of people have had these cards of kind of like mindset in this set of readings for the real 2025. So a lot of people could be kind of like changing their mindset. A lot of people could be changing who they are through their mindset. I said it in the 2025 readings. Like this is the year of the snake in the Chinese zodiac. So the snake is about reinvention and shedding your skin and all those other things, right? And it's crazy to me how like every single reading that I've done in this set of readings so far, I only have 4 more to do after this one. They've all talked about changing in some way, or reinventing yourself in some way. Like the Magician, you don't have the Magician, but the Magician has come up a lot. So I feel that this is about like, taking control of your inner voice and start speaking as if you already are the thing that you want to be, because like it is an amazing year for reinvention. You have the Death card. It's an amazing year for big changes, of course. So a lot of you could be experiencing big changes, with the Death card. I feel like you should be excited. You know, the child on the Death card is holding up these flowers to the Death Rider. The child is the only person on this card who is not afraid of the Death Rider. You know, the child is excited for new beginnings. The child is excited to do something different. And that's what I feel for you. You know, I feel like this is saying you should be excited for new beginnings and new things. The Death card can also represent kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel. I do feel that for you here, Gemini. Like if you've been dealing with any like difficulties for years, that, you know, some of you could finally be seeing that like light at the end of the tunnel here. And I feel that will probably feel pretty good. You have the Hangman. Again, you know, based off the fact that we've had all these retrogrades, I feel a lot of people are kind of coming out of Hangman mode. Retrogrades literally are here to teach us something. And so retrogrades put us on pause. We learn lessons during the retrogrades. And then after the retrogrades, we can move forward. That sounds like the Hangman to me. The Hangman puts himself in Hangman mode so he can gain enlightenment. And now he's able to move forward. So really, I just feel this is talking about forward movement. And you have the Three of Wands right next to it. So, you know, a lot of you could finally be expanding, like I already said, or you could finally be going on a new adventure. With the Strength card, you have the Seven of Cups. Yeah, really believing that you can do something, right? The Seven of Cups is being spoiled for choice, but sometimes I feel like the Seven of Cups, he is dreaming of some sort of goal, wish, or dream that he has. And there are good things and bad things in these cups, but really, he doesn't know what the outcome is going to be. Like, he could have a specific goal in mind, and he's thinking of the good things and bad things that could happen. But unless he actually does it, unless he actually takes action on the dream, he can't just assume that things are going to go good or bad. He has to find out. And I feel that it would be a really good time for you to not just, like, assume that something is going to go this way or that way. It would be a good time to take action on the dream and actually make things happen and just see what happens. And maybe that isn't a good answer, Gemini, but that's what I get. With the Death card, you have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, it's like once you cross that line of like a certain point and making a change, there's no going back. I get this like no going back type of energy on the Death card, but I feel like this is a good thing, you know, not a bad thing. It's like some of you could be making a choice right now. For some of you, it's popping into my head as moving, but, you know, it could be anything, where you're making a choice to make some sort of change. And it's like, once you make that change, that's it. You know, there's no going back. But I feel like this should, you know, give you confidence. You know, some of you could be making a job change or a business change as well, where it's like, once you quit, that's it. You're not going to be able to get the job back. So I kind of get one of those, you know, it's almost like an all or nothing change that some of you could be making this year as well. With the Hangman, you have the King of Cups. I would be listening to your emotions. The King of Cups is sitting in the middle of the deep ocean. And, you know, the story of the King of Cups is that he has explored his emotions to a very deep level. And because of that, he is sitting in these choppy waters, but he is perfectly fine because he knows exactly how he feels about pretty much everything that he could potentially be doing in his life. So, you know, really this is a card of like your beliefs, but based off your emotions and needing to process your emotions. Some of you could also be attracting a water sign here. I mean, you have basically everything here, so it could be any sign, but it could also just be an emotionally stable person. Like one thing, you know, I look at tarot as a spectrum. You know, the King of Cups could be overly emotional in a bad way, or it could be emotional in a good way. And, you know, so I would look out for a person who is stable, of course, not unstable. And if you meet a person who's like very emotionally stable, this could be very good for you. Next, we are going to look at what is the best future for you to step into. And you have this card that says a new start is coming. You also have this card that says hold your vision. Yes, I mean, that's like the whole entire reading right there. You know, the whole entire reading basically says there's like a new start coming in for you. The hold your vision card is like the Seven of Cups. You know, there are things that you want to manifest in your life, or maybe there are experiences that you want to have. Same thing with the Three of Wands. You know, the Three of Wands, he is looking out in front of him at the opportunity to get on those boats, those ships in front of him, and that could be something he wants. But he has to hold the vision, and that's exactly what I would do here. Next, you have the King of Swords, the Devil, and the Three of Wands. The King of Swords, it could be you showing up in a very strong position, Whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength and really allows you to get what you want from the reading. The King of Swords has great discernment and like knowledge and wisdom. I kind of feel this is like everything that you've been through over the years is like adding up, and it's almost like you have the superpower of great discernment now, where you can look at things and you know what's right and what's wrong for you. And really, I would just trust that with the King of Swords. One thing I will say is I think it's a great time for mentors, or it's a great time to find mentors or people that can guide you. So if you're trying to do anything in your life and if you don't know what to do, this could be a great card for like finding people who can help guide you, or who can get you on the right track, and all that other good stuff. So great time for that. You have the Devil. I would be careful of like devils in general. Pretty much until like the end of May. We had Mars retrograde, and Mars is direct right now, but it's still in the shadow until like the beginning of May. Mars retrograde can definitely bring out energy vampires and things like that. So I would just, pay attention. Like I said, I think you have great discernment now. So Nine of Swords, don't repeat a mistake. Like if someone, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So if someone seems toxic or someone seems like they're trouble, then I would avoid that energy with the Devil. Now, one other thing that I'm getting on the Devil is that these people have animal horns on their heads. The animal horns on the Devil, they represent like our baser instincts, our root chakra energy. And you have this card that said creativity on it. And so sometimes I feel like the Devil can represent root chakra energy. You have like this creative idea, but we need to take that idea, bring it up to our heads, and express it into the world. So I'm also getting that. Like some of you could have creative ideas, and it's saying like, don't hold those ideas in. Get your creativity going here, Gemini, and you will be happy you did. Next, you have the Three of Wands. I mean, again, Jupiter's been in your sign for like over a year now. And so anything you can do to expand would be a good idea. Three of Wands, we have to leave our comfort zone and get on these boats. These boats are going in a different direction, or they're going on an adventure. But we have to actually go on the adventure to have the adventure. And that's what I would be doing with that Three of Wands. With the King of Swords, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. So again, mentors would be good for you. The Three of Pentacles is also a card of quality work. So if you are doing anything, like creating anything, working on projects, showing those things off, you could get a lot of attention right now. Also great if you're looking for a raise or promotion. I always say Three of Pentacles is a great card for like showing off at work so that you can get a raise or a promotion. With the Devil, you have the Four of Pentacles. Yes, this could be a devil that you have to let go of because of the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords here. It's like sometimes toxic things can become a comfort zone. And so this might be like your one challenge for the rest of the year is to cut something out that clearly no longer serves you. With the Three of Wands, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. The Three of Wands is also a change in direction. On the Seven of Pentacles, this guy here, he's asking himself, is the juice worth the squeeze? Like, is it worth it for me to keep investing my time, effort, energy, and attention into what I'm working on? Or is there something better? And I think a lot of you could just be, making changes, having new beginnings. And a new start is coming, as this card says. You can't make this up. You have this order card. Like, everybody has had this card. This deck that I'm using has 1 million cards in it. So, it always surprises me when a card from this deck repeats itself. This card is about, following a simple plan towards your goals. It basically says, come up with a plan on how you're going to accomplish what you want to accomplish and do it. You have this endurance card. I do feel like your hard work is kind of paying off here. That's not really what I would say. Like, it's more, if you have stuck with something for a long time, you could finally be getting the results of like what you have been sticking to, especially in work or business. And that's kind of what I feel on that card. You have this inspiration card. Yeah, Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto and Aquarius wants us to be inspired. So, in a lot of ways, I think that we're about to have about 20 years of inspiration. And so anything that inspires us or excites us, we just have to, play with those ideas and move in those directions. We are moving into a more inspired time where it's like, it's not so much, it's more like our inspirations are guiding us towards what we want, and we have to pay attention. Next, you have this discovery card. Yes, be open to discovery, be open to adventure. And, I think this is true for everyone right now. Like, we're all in a little bit of a comfort zone. And so we all have to go on adventures to discover other ways of doing things. It's like if we don't, continue to grow and learn, then we really never experience any change in our lives. And so the discovery card is saying, if you get any opportunities to leave a comfort zone with the Three of Wands, take those opportunities. They will be worth it. And finally, you have this friendship card. Number one, really good reading for friends, for people, Three of Pentacles, but also really good for love. Like, you could be meeting a person where maybe you start as friends and then kind of go from there. But this looks pretty good here, Gemini. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your year.